Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to week 10.
The start of it.
We're already in the double digits. Wow.
Yeah. Welcome to the official playoff push. I think this is when you can kind of declare that.
Absolutely. Yep.
If you're sitting pretty with a good record, now's the time to, minor tweaks here and there. If you're 500, your playoffs
honestly, if you're
contending,
now's the time when you look ahead to like a good defensive schedule in the playoffs.
Now and you can take advantage.
Stash that playoff stash now before everybody else. So that's one thing that I would say everybody go out and do.
Yep. You can start looking forward to you're not going to know your personal matchup right, just yet, but what you do know is what might look to be something that's a favorable matchup as for, team-wise 4 weeks from now or so. And obviously a lot changes in the NFL between now and a month. There's probably going to be at least one significant injury somewhere along the way, somewhere, somehow. So it's impossible to account for every specific scenario, but yeah, you can protect yourself by starting to you can kind of like shrink your bench, so to speak, right? Start looking at pieces where this guy might help me in week 12, but also I'm at the point where I might not need a win in week 12. I'm just getting ready for my championship run.
Right, right.
But on the flip side, if you're 500, it's time to decide, am I a buyer or a seller, or am I a contender or not? What move do I need to make to flip that switch if I'm 500? So as always, as much context as you can provide given your situation and your question helps. We got a couple of things off the top that we want to talk about, but hopefully we steered as many people as possible in the right direction this past week. Hopefully as many people are sitting as pretty as possible, but if not, let us know your situation, give us the details, give us the context, and we'll be sure to help you out. But which way do we want to kick things off? Because I have some thoughts about.
I'm wearing my Bills jersey, my Bills hoodie again, just because of Josh Allen.
You're trying to put some good vibes out there into the universe.
Yeah. Think I got to. Because worst case scenario, what he's dealing with, I guess, is an ulnar.
UCL.
Yeah, ulnar or something. So it could be a compressed nerve, in which case he's fine. Or it could be a tear, in which case he needs Tommy John surgery. So, and he's already had an issue with this injury before, and that kept him out for 4 games.
Yeah, his rookie year.
Yep.
Wide range of potential outcomes here. We have not heard a peep. I know he's undergoing an MRI. I don't know if that's already happened. At this point, you just have to continue to operate as if no news is good news until you get the news, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Obviously, it was something that happened on the last drive of the game, where it kind of looked a little funny. We'll see. If it's 4 games, the Bills can weather that storm. Maybe they go 2-2.
And honestly, I think that's what we're looking at, because he did, right after that play, throw the ball 70 yards down the field.
Yep. Right.
I think it might have been, a stinger or something, a compressed nerve, because that could be, it's right in there too.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something crazy. I hope not. Hope not. Being optimistic. Because if it is something crazy and he's out for the foreseeable future, downgrade to everybody in this offense, and you really can't trust anybody. And Stephon Diggs might start looking like Michael Pittman. Like, it's that bad. You don't... Case Keenum, dude?
If he's gone for the season, then yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, if he's gone for the season, yes.
Yeah.
Diggs goes down to a wide receiver 2-ish. Gabe Davis probably becomes unplayable. Devin Singletary.
We got to talk about him, too.
Yeah,
we got to talk about him in general, too. I know we got some questions piling up in the chat, but there are some players that we want to talk about today. Josh Allen being one, and then by extension, Gabe Davis, because he hasn't been good in the last 2 games at least. And but he's getting targets. Like last week, he got 5 targets, 2 receptions, 13 yards. And yes, he can have those boom weeks, but it's just like, yo.
He was the target on that 70-yard moonshot, but the reason he didn't catch that ball wasn't Josh Allen's fault. It was Gabe Davis's fault.
Exactly.
He absolutely failed to sell in any way the route or where the ball was, and made it incredibly easy for Sauce. Wasn't it? It was Sauce who was on him, right?
Yep.
To make the play, to break the play up. That was so. Not only is Gabe not producing, he's not giving you reasons to throw. As from Josh Allen's perspective, he's not giving him reasons to throw him the ball.
But there are a lot of people in this
plays
offense.
Out there.
A lot of people in that offense. That are doing the same thing. Dawson Knox on the interception in the first quarter. I mean, on the first drive, was completely uninterested in trying to catch the ball. And I know he's dealt with trials and tribulations this season, but I think they need OBJ. I think the Bills need OBJ. That's honestly what I'm hoping, and I cannot believe I'm there. But I want the Bills to get OBJ. They need somebody that can go out and be the guy that gets easy yards. Cole Beasley, they're missing that guy. Maybe that's Nyheim Hines. I was surprised he wasn't playing more in that game, in that role, because it feels like a plug and play. I mean, but James Cook was still out there a lot, surprisingly, and we don't got to dwell on this game too much. But
first game with the team, I won't beat him. I won't beat the coaching staff up too bad for that. But moving forward, he probably needs to get a little bit more involved, especially if it's Case Keenum for a little while, a couple of dump offs and check downs. But the team, the team that Nyheim Hines came from, the Colts, just real quick, and we do see all your questions in the chat. We will get to everybody.
Yep.
Holy shit, what a train wreck Indianapolis is right now.
Jeff Saturday, new head coach.
Like what? I think he coached a high school team for 3 or 4 seasons. And that's the extent of his coaching experience.
Now I know he's a Hall of Fame level player.
Sure.
But
he's forgotten more football than most of us will ever learn. But
you don't go from coaching 3 seasons of high school to coaching for an NFL team.
Yeah, I mean that's a significant jump. And especially so with a team that is so broken as this one. They got a 6th round pick who doesn't look ready to play in the NFL playing quarterback. You got your all-pro running back deal. Probably, I don't know if we see him again. The offensive line is awful. And the defense can only do so much. They're also missing Shaquille Leonard, their best player, who has not played more than, I think, 2 games this year. So they're doing what they can, but you're propping up an offense that currently, as constructed, is not NFL caliber. No, and as a result, none of those wide receivers can be fired up in your fantasy lineup until further notice. In any scenario. That's a train wreck. That's a disaster. The one, I guess, saving grace for Colts fans is it looks like they are finally cratering out toward the bottom, and they're going to be in contention to get one of the top quarterback prospects, which they sorely need. So that's the silver lining for Colts fans, but strap in. You might win 1 more game this year total.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yup.
But yeah, if you play Joe Mixon, I know Nick was pushing Joe Mixon over I think Kenneth Walker and stuff like that. There was one other player in there who did well, Travis Etienne. Both of them had 2 touchdowns, but still, if you played Joe Mixon, you probably won your day.
Congratulations. You would hopefully have won.
If you played Joe Mixon and Justin Fields, you definitely won your day.
You definitely won, man.
Yes.
How about Justin Fields?
Oh my God, dude.
I think we saw him grow up a little bit this past Sunday.
Yep.
We saw him grow up a little bit.
Him and Tua are just, over the past 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Yeah. They look
completely different players than they were last season.
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Tua.
Oh, I know.
I traded him away for a first and Tyler Huntley in a Superflex Dynasty League. Traded away Justin Fields and David Montgomery for 2 firsts, 3 seconds, and thought it was golden. Now I'm looking back like,
uh-oh.
Yeah, because both of those guys I needed.
My quarterbacks.
Yeah. I need quarterback right now, so those guys would be great to have. But, I didn't see it coming for them.
I liked Fields in the pre-draft process last year. I did. I thought he should have gone as high as 4 overall.
I didn't see it coming for him this season.
Maybe next year.
I thought it was 2023 was going to be his year, but he can support a whole offense.
Now he just needs a wide receiver, like a true bona fide alpha wide receiver, and it's
because Claypool ain't it.
Fields.
Yeah.
Well, he's a good complementary piece, but yeah.
No, what he does is he stretches the field and allows this Bears offense to really go crazy.
I think he plays his role quite well for what
but he's not going to be racking up fantasy points, is what I mean.
Sure, but I think it was like I said during the trade, or after the trade, I liked that move for Chicago.
Yes. Yeah.
I did. Cost effective, team controlled, and matches what the Bears want to do on offense. He's a field stretcher for Fields. He's Fields stretcher. Got him. There you go. So good to see young quarterbacks playing well. Maybe proving some doubters wrong.
One after some scary injuries too. Tua.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. So good to see all of that type of stuff being overcome. So exciting time for a couple of young quarterbacks. It's always fun to see a couple of young quarterbacks with expectations starting to deliver. It keeps that pipeline of good young quarterbacks in the NFL going strong. You love to see it.
Yes, sir. But all right, let's get to the chat.
I think I'm good. I think I've said my piece on some certain things.
Congratulations on the Eagles still being undefeated.
What's that? Oh yeah, the Eagles are still undefeated, even though I've been told by everybody that they haven't played anybody yet. But
we always said that their schedule was early. I mean, was good early.
Sure.
Look at what they've done with it.
I mean, I make no apology. Nobody should be making any apologies for the teams that are on your schedule. And all of the teams on the Eagles schedule have beaten somebody else. So whatever. So whatever. We're still top of the food chain for now, for at least one more week.
Yeah, everybody's changing their power rankings and all that.
As they should.
But yo, Rohovich, what's going on? DJ Duvernay's got an important question.
Okay. Try to help.
Trying to get Dulcich for David Montgomery. Basically. Montgomery, Dion, Dulcich, Treylon Burks. I'd rather just do Montgomery for Dulcich straight up because I want to keep Deion Jackson over Treylon Burks.
Absolutely.
But
I'm not worried. But
I'm not even really sure if I want to give up Montgomery for Dulcich straight up.
You should be able to get a little bit more for a starting running back.
A little bit, yeah.
Maybe not significantly more. Maybe like a wide receiver 4. Maybe like a Devin Duvernay after only having 1 catch on Monday night going into his bye week.
If they need a little motivation, you got Evan Ingram. Ship Evan Ingram with Montgomery. That's who you should package, not Deion Jackson, and then try to upgrade it with somebody other than Treylon Burks. Because I don't think Treylon Burks has that much of a ceiling rest of season.
No, and nobody does in that offense other than Derrick Henry. I I don't know that we see Tannehill again this year. And that would be great for Malik Willis just getting experience, but that's exactly the ceiling right now is Malik Willis getting experience. We're not expecting huge box score numbers, and that's obviously going to trickle down to the wideouts.
Yep.
Burks, this is a season of learning and seasoning for Treylon Burks. This is not a year to be relying on him, especially if you're a team headed toward the playoffs. Treylon Burks is not a contributor for you in redraft this year. He's not a contributor for anybody this year. He's a keeper stash in maybe 12 and 14 keeper leagues. That's what he is, maybe. And even then, he's probably not a guy that you're going to keep next year.
True.
So no, I'm not acquiring him anywhere. I'll buy in Dynasty if I can buy low, and I could use some hopeful young talent. Sure, that's it though.
Yeah.
That's it.
But your team is good, DJ Duvernay.
Yeah.
Should be fine. I would just try to hold on to Montgomery.
And you're 8-1. So you're 8-1. So, don't just hand an RB3 away because there's more value to an RB3 than maybe you're giving credit to. I know Montgomery has been very blah, but
the upgrade from Ingram to Dulcich isn't that much of an upgrade. Like, what are you going from 16 to 12? 16 to 10? It's not. And that's at best.
Yeah, maybe.
So, yeah, you definitely want something back if you're shipping away Montgomery with an Ingram.
Right.
You could get something good.
Because your RB3 and 4 are Donta Foreman and Deion Jackson, and as an 8-1 playoff team, I don't feel as comfortable about that. I like Deion Jackson. Foreman came back to earth this past week, and Chuba Hubbard is back healthy. So just remember, you're 8-1. You're trying to make your team unbeatable. Don't trade away a key depth piece that helped get you to where you're at. If it ain't broke.
Yeah, does the guy have Devin Singletary, who only had 7 points last week? And who, depending on what happens with this Josh Allen thing, could become half of their offense. And at that point, he basically and on a subpar team if Josh Allen is not playing, which means he becomes David Montgomery.
Yeah.
And then you're basically just getting an upgrade for an upgrade, or for free. So try something like that. Hits, what's going on? Trade ETN for Amandre and Judy.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
I love ETN, but sure. I mean, you're talking about Ramondre. Ramondre's on bye this week.
You're getting a guy in the same tier, plus a wide receiver 3 with wide receiver 2 upside.
As long as you're not desperate for a win this coming week, because you don't have Ramondre this week. The Patriots are on bye. That being said, if you're 6 and I can do math. If you're 6-3 or better, and you're not like jonesing for a win, like you could afford to eat a potential disadvantage being without Ramondre this week, then sure, I'm fine with that. Especially because Jones picked up an injury, so you still get a running back with Ramondre. Plus Jerry Jeudy, who has come on very strongly the past couple of weeks, coming out, and he's past his bye week. I think Jeudy is a strong wide receiver, top 24 option rest of way. I do. I would be fine with that as long as you're not like desperate for a victory this specific week.
And for this specific week, if you are and you decide to make the deal, can you pick up a guy like Jaylen Warren? Can you pick up a guy like Gus Edwards? Did somebody drop him? Is Rashad White still on your wire? Is Jeff? Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Is Rashad White on your wire? Is Jeff Wilson on your wire? Those are guys you should be prioritizing on the waiver wire if you can, or if you need running back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thoughts on Keenan Allen? I mean, when he gets back, we'll see. That's where I'm at.
I don't feel good.
It's not even. We'll see. Like when he gets back, we'll see how effective he is.
He hasn't done anything.
Because this could be a Michael Thomas situation.
And he's 30. Is he 30? Is he 29 or is he 30?
He's doesn't matter. 30, I believe. Yep.
He's 30 with reoccurring soft tissue injuries.
Yeah.
I would. My thought is I am preparing to compete without him.
At best, he comes back and he's a wide receiver 3.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it.
Especially with Herbert still ailing from his rib thing.
Yeah, he's still ailing. This team, the Chargers, I mean, they squeaked out a win against Atlanta, but this is not an offense that is firing the way people wanted or were hoping for them to fire coming into the season. And obviously a lot of that the rib injury. There's a severe amount of pain tolerance that Herbert is dealing with right now. And credit to him for doing it, but it's affecting his numbers, which is obviously what we care about from a fantasy perspective. I want Austin Eckler in this offense and nothing else. I guess Gerald Everett is still fine as a tight end here and there, but that's it. That's it. Yeah. I only want Austin Eckler. I don't even want Herbert. Week to week, he feels like very difficult to trust right now.
Yeah, I think he's QB 11,
which is fine, but you drafted him to be QB 2 or 3. So it's not fine.
So it hurts your roster because you prioritized him over somebody else, probably good in that range.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think Hitz might have traded for Keenan Allen. I feel like he maybe traded for Keenan Allen, if I'm remembering correctly from the weekend streams.
Who was it that we recommended do that bet for Mixon or for Eckler 2 touchdowns?
I think that was George. Was that like George? Well, I think that was George.
All right, we'll see if he stops by.
Yeah.
But DJ Duvernay, congratulations. And Greg Z, I hope your week is going well too. Thoughts on Chiefs or Titans defense this week? The Titans defense is playing Denver.
So then,
why not play the Titans defense?
Who are the Chiefs playing?
Jacksonville.
Oh, I like that too. Are they at home or on the road? Ooh, they're at home.
I like the matchup more, man.
Either one is fine.
Denver, go after Titans v. Denver.
Yeah, either one is fine. Just keep in mind Denver's coming out of their bye week, so maybe they're a little more ready to go. But either one is fine.
Also for a flex this week, Gabe Davis, Terry McLaurin, or Mostert. Terry McLaurin, easy.
Terry.
Go back to the well.
He didn't have a huge game, but
he's coming off 2 really good games before where he scored a touchdown and went over 100 yards just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis, you can't trust him yet.
It is against the Eagles, but Terry had a good game against them in week 3, 6 for 102, and they'll probably have to throw a lot.
Yeah. And Gabe Davis might be without Josh Allen. We don't know.
Yeah.
Terry. German game week. All right, what's going on, Iron?
Yeah, man, we got the NFL. The NFL crew is in Munich.
Yeah. It should be fun.
Yeah, had some of the German reporters or people who cover the NFL for Germany are on the show this week. It's nice for them to get some exposure. It's nice for them to get this opportunity, and hopefully the German people are ready for what should be a decent game. The Bucs haven't been great, but they're still the Bucs, and Seattle has exceeded expectations so far. Should be a decent game.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Glad that it's there.
Yeah.
Fam first, Mariota or Jones this week. Also, if Taylor don't play, Connor or Foreman full PPR.
Who are Falcons playing? Oh, on short. They're playing the Panthers on a short week. I mean, the last time these two heavyweights faced off, there were a lot of points scored. And I think against Carolina, Mariota may have had one of his best games of the season. Yeah, 250 passing yards, three passing scores, ran for 43 yards on 6 carries. Now, it's the Thursday night game this week, so I got to temper expectations, but there's nothing scary about the matchup by the numbers. So he's an option. Daniel Jones against Houston coming out of his bye week is maybe one that I feel a little bit better about. And I think the Giants.
Yeah, I'd rather go Daniel Jones.
Probably Daniel Jones.
Yep.
And if Taylor doesn't play, full disclosure, I would already be preparing for him to not play.
Connor played 72% of the snaps last week, even though he didn't have a good box score. I think you go Connor just because Foreman did bad. That offense looks terrible. He needed 30, like a bunch of, I think it was 30-something touches to get the yardage that he did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
This offense is not going to be in the red zone all that much with P.J. Walker starting again. I think I'd rather just go Connor.
He had 12 touches in his first game back after a 3-week absence.
Yeah, he'll have a better week.
Connor, I would go Connor because like you said, Chuba's back healthy and Foreman's coming off a bit of a dud.
Yep.
Not a bit of a dud, it was a dud.
And Derek, would you start Everett or Kmet at tight end this week?
Shit.
Kmet had a great game. 2-touchdown game.
Kmet came to life. Now, we can't chase touchdowns, right? They're the highest variance item that there is. I would probably, but I'm going being said, I think I'm going Kmet. The 49ers are the Chargers' opponent this week on Sunday Night Football. Everett's been giving you floor plays recently, but he's not giving you a tight end ceiling game since week 4. And the San Francisco 49ers are one of the tougher matchups by the numbers for opposing tight ends. Meanwhile, the Lions get Detroit at home, and Detroit stinks on defense. Well, Aaron Rodgers might tell you otherwise, but Detroit stinks on defense. Unlike Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields isn't cooked, though.
Gerald Everett, the last 3 games, 7 targets, 9 targets, 8 targets. And last game, he got a rushing attempt. Dude, I'm like, I know the usage or the fantasy points haven't exactly worked out there because he has 5 receptions in the last 5 games and hasn't scored a touchdown. But I think I'm chasing that usage with what should be a really good quarterback. And maybe he can get healthy as the season goes along.
Keyword is should. I'm chasing the hot offense. The Bears are playing better on offense than the Chargers right now. 2022 sentence.
Yeah, but not necessarily because of what he's doing with his arm. Last week, great game. I don't know if I'm chasing that yet. Now I understand Justin Fields is a mainstay. I'm not going to straight up give that right away to his tight end after 1 game because it took me a few games to get to the point where I'm thinking Justin Fields is a mainstay. So I need a few more weeks. Just like Greg Dulcich, 3 weeks of good production. I'm willing to go back in on that.
Yeah, I think I'm chasing the better.
1 week of Cole Kmet. I need a little more time.
I think I'm chasing the better team the better offense right now. And who thought that this would ever happen in 2022? But it's Chicago over the Chargers.
And Derek, I would go St. Brown at the flex.
St. Brown has been struggling recently.
Yeah, but guess who they play? Guess who they play?
The Bears.
Yeah.
Could be a shootout. Could be a shootout.
Yeah, it could.
The Chargers. I gotta come back to this one later in the week, Derek. I gotta see the practice reports on Keenan Allen. I assume Mike Williams is out for another game. Palmer had a good game this past week. He did. If he's one of the focal points once again, he could be the guy just based off of opportunities. I mean, 10 targets, 8 catches, 106 yards. Would I expect similar numbers? Maybe not, but you could maybe get 60 to 70% of that production and feel just fine. Amon-Ra, I don't think he's been better than the wide receiver 30 the past 5 weeks.
But that's what Palmer is. And with Foreman,
yeah.
Again, I don't know if I'm chasing that. I think I'd rather go with the wide receiver who has given me, prior to the cold stretch that he's on right now, like 10 straight weeks of wide receiver 1 production. Going back to last year. So I'm going St. Brown.
I think I'd rather do Palmer pending the health reports of Allen and
because Palmer didn't have a huge game last week either.
He had 8 for 106.
Oh,
he had a great game.
Damn.
Yeah,
Never mind.
he had 10 targets, 8 catches, 106 yards.
Well, I stand correct.
I'm leaning Palmer. And I don't like Detroit's playmakers as much when they're on the road. I just don't. Plus, they just beat the Packers in probably what was an emotional game for the Lions. Yes, they have another division game on the slate in Chicago, but like the Packers are that type of victory for a team like the Lions where it could be let down city for them the next week. And they did well again. They won the game without Amon-Ra doing much. Now they got to go back on the road.
Yeah, but they can't win in that model consistently.
Yeah, I think
they just really can't. I think they go back. Too much of a track record with Amon-Ra for me not to go Amon-Ra here. So we're split. And DJ Duvernay,
well then
I
don't offer him all that.
Yeah.
Then if he's got Kelsey and Dulcich is useless to him, don't hand him an RB3.
Get something else.
Offer
back.
Foreman. That's what I would offer. I would offer Foreman. And if he says
that
no,
should
then
do it straight up.
I would offer Foreman. And if he says no, then just be like, okay, see you later.
Yeah, there are other tight ends you can go and grab.
Yep, see you later.
And Ignatius Pennyfeather, thanks for joining us. Hurts, Kenneth Walker, ETN, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, TJ Hawkinson, Damian Pierce, Jacoby Myers, Tyler Boyd, James Conner, got Pitts off waivers. Any moves to be made, or should I stay put?
Nope.
I think you're good, man.
Nope.
Strong wide receivers, strong running backs. Yep.
You're just waiting for Jamar. Nope. You're good.
6-3. You're good.
You're fine. You got a team that's ready to compete for the playoffs. I would do nothing. You're deep at running back. Once Jamar comes back, you got high-end options at wide receiver. Yep, you're fine. I would do nothing. I would legitimately do nothing. You have a top 2 quarter. Actually, depending on the severity of Josh Allen's injury, you may have the QB1 for fantasy in Hurts.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm doing a whole lot of nothing. I am sitting back, setting my lineup, and having a smoke. That's it.
Yeah. And DJ Duvernay. Yeah,
Foreman,
you got
yeah.
it. You
So
got it.
we just
Yep.
Yeah. Offer Foreman, and if he says no, just be like, all right, see you later.
And Ignatius, between the two, rest of season is preferential. They're both 2 touchdown upside guys. 100 yards on the ground or through the air at this point. Running back.
Yeah, in PPR, I'd rather have ETN.
True.
But you have both, so.
But Kenneth Walker caught 3 passes last week.
Yep, he can catch the ball.
He's getting more passes thrown in his direction. So I'm just throwing
Kenneth
that out
Walker.
there too.
Public service announcement every single week. Kenneth Walker can catch the ball.
Sure.
I knew I was right about that.
And DJ Duvernay, he's got horrible running backs, Kareem and Singletary, so trading for an RB
so offer
for
him Foreman
would work best.
So offer Foreman, and if he says no, just say see you later.
It's the way to go.
Just say see you later. Don't do him any favors. He's got Kelsey. He can't. He's not in a position of power from a bargaining perspective. Shouldn't have never picked up Dulcich to begin with.
Nope. That's a take what you can get situation.
Yep. Offer him Foreman and nothing else. Yep.
Yeah, Foreman had 3 touchdowns against ATL. Magical, great game for him. I don't think I don't think he's going to be generating that amount of offense on a consistent basis. Nobody does.
Who?
Foreman.
Oh, 3 touchdowns?
Talking about,
nah.
Yeah, no. I mean,
nah. He might get 1 touchdown this week. Maybe.
Right. Yeah, and Chuba is back. He'll get touches. He will. Alex M., David Montgomery, C. Patterson, or Najee Harris for a flex start. So Patterson, 2 touchdowns.
Patterson, and it's not even close.
Go back to it.
Yeah. That man comes off IR after missing a month and is a top 8 running back for the week. Patterson's a stud, and I'm really happy for him, just because nobody saw this coming, dating back to last year, and you know, I have no reason to believe he can't do it again. Now, yes, does he maybe get spelled for Algier and Caleb Huntley a little bit more because it's Thursday in a short week? Sure.
Yeah, but with the amount of running that offense does, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I'm firing him up. Firing him up. Patterson. Montgomery is blah, and there are reports that Jaylen Warren might supplant Najee as the starter for at least this week.
Yeah.
Now, I do think that's a little unfair to Najee because he has been giving solid RB2 performances, and it's not his fault. Yeah, is Najee maybe not was he not worth being selected in the first round? No, that was an organizational failure by the Steelers. But this offensive line is straight trash, and that's not Najee's fault.
No, he's not Trent Richardson. He's not that bad yet.
No, I'm not ready to go there yet, because I feel like Richardson fell off a cliff in his second season. Najee hasn't fallen off a cliff. Najee is a victim of horrible circumstances out of his control. But Patterson with ease.
Yep.
Patterson with ease, Alex.
And John, share the trade.
Yeah, let us know, John.
Derek, they're playing ATL again. The only reason you mentioned it. Fair enough. The ball's going to be spread around a little bit more. There's been more emphasis on using DJ Moore since then.
They failed this past week.
But there's going to be an emphasis on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not saying he's bad. It's just I'd rather have Montgomery than Foreman. And
Absolutely.
See if you can trade off of that big week a few weeks ago.
There's a difference. Remember, like, Montgomery is about as who's a more boring running back than David Montgomery? But boring.
We thought
right?
Josh Jacobs. Not the case.
Not this year. Jacobs isn't boring this year. He's been a little boring the past couple weeks, but Montgomery is about as boring as they come, right?
No, but just based off of what ADP coming into the season.
I'm talking about right now.
Right now.
Yeah. I mean right now, because if we did a redraft draft for the rest of the season tonight, right now, Josh Jacobs is probably a top 25 pick.
Yeah. I thought you meant coming into the season.
No.
If you mean right now,
who's more boring?
Devin Singletary is a boring running back.
Yeah, he's got his job firmly entrenched, whereas Khalil Herbert is at Montgomery's heels. What my point is, though, is that boring does not equal bad. Right? Boring does not equate to bad. And Montgomery, as an RB3 on a good team, coasting to the playoffs, because if you're 8-1, you're coasting to the playoffs.
Yes.
You could lose your final 4 games and you're still going to be a 4 or 5 seed at worst, right? There's value to be had in that RB3.
Yes.
That's all. Whereas Foreman could be Foreman, who came into the season as a deep backup, now finds himself in an opportunity to be the starter, is much closer. Not that I'm not saying this is going to happen, but he's much closer to getting supplanted by Chuba Hubbard at the drop of a hat than Montgomery is by the Bears.
Evaluation mode, right?
Yep, right. Chuba's a 4th round pick from this organization just last year. They want to see what young pieces can contribute for them moving forward.
Getting Tommy Tremble involved. I mean,
right. I think I root for Donta Foreman after all that he's been through, and he balled out in week 8, and that was awesome to see. But I think he's 27 years old, right? He's a little older for a run. It's just. This isn't a detriment on Donta Foreman. I'm not trying to talk shit on Donta Foreman, but Donta Foreman does not fit into the Panthers' long-term plans.
Not at all.
He's a guy that's going to help them get through this season.
Right.
And then hopefully he's able to turn that into a contract for his sake, on a better team. But this team is going to want to see what they have in Chuba. and Chuba could eat.
And Raheem Blackshear, for what it's worth, he got
or Blackshear.
He got a few touches last week.
Yeah, I think he scored a touchdown. Was it this past week?
He had a very good week.
This past week,
know what his
I think he
stats
scored. I think he scored. I'll look this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 for 13, which is very gross. But he caught 4 balls for 40.
So now this is going to be a 3-headed monster. Something that it wasn't when Donta Foreman went off and had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Big Trev, Terrace Marshall, Hardman, Gallup, Singletary, pick 2, please, PPR. Terrace Marshall and, right now, Mecole Hardman has had 3 back-to-back. Again, I go back to show me 1 week, maybe. Show me 2 weeks, maybe. Show me 3 weeks. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with going in that direction. Mecole Hardman has had 3 very good weeks.
Yeah, yes. Who would have thunk it?
It took Mahomes throwing the ball 68 times, which isn't going to happen every week. But he's shown consistency.
Mahomes is friggin' unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
68 times. One
to
pass
that point,
away from a very nice performance, but I digress.
To that point, if it was a 1-game sample size, this one would be hard to trust. But 3 straight games to back it up. So yeah, Terrace Marshall and Mecole Hardman.
We have to keep in mind, and honestly, Big Trev, I'm gonna actually put a pin in this one because I want to know the diagnosis of Josh Allen. Because I know that Devin Singletary doesn't fire every single week, but he's still got 12 total opportunities this past week, and he nearly 50 total yards from scrimmage on paper without scoring a touchdown doesn't look great, but involvement is still involvement, and there's a chance Singletary gets the ball 4 or 5 more times if it's Case Keenum under center. And I'm not saying that means he's going to do better, but if he gets more opportunities, it could lead to a little bit more production. So I'm not quite ready to definitively give you an answer for this one yet. I want to know the diagnosis on Josh Allen. Is it a pain tolerance thing that he's going to fight through as soon as this week against the Vikings, or are we going to miss him for a couple of games, if not a couple more? I think Mecole is fair to say is one of those options, is one of your guys. As far as your second player, I can't go there yet because I want to know the diagnosis on Allen as it pertains to Singletary before I say a definitive answer.
Mecole Hardman the last 4 weeks, wide receiver 26, wide receiver 24, wide receiver 2, and wide receiver 8. So you're playing him. And then Terrace Marshall the last 2 weeks since he's been inserted into the offense, wide receiver 27, wide receiver 12.
Yeah.
I think you go back to that, man. Like Devin Singletary, you know me, I'd advocate for Devin Singletary most weeks if I could. But, the last RB27, RB28, RB20, RB43, RB35. Like his upside, you're hoping for a very high-end RB3 is basically what you're hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go the wide receivers in PPR. So we're split there. Hits. Think I should hold or make this trade?
If you can do Walker instead of ETN for Ramondre and Judy, as much as I like Walker, I do think I would prefer to have ETN. So if you can do Walker for Ramondre and Judy, I think I'm even more on board with that than ETN.
Can you make it Akers? See if he takes it, and then go back. Then be like, all right, K9.
Yeah, if you can hit the
try Akers and Pittman first.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Throw in
Allen. Yo, no, I'm serious. Akers, Pittman, and Allen. Do it. Try it out. And Tony. Just
don't disrespect the guy.
Do it.
Don't disrespect the guy.
And Waller, just all of them.
I would do Walker. Jesus, yeah. I would do Walker. I would offer Walker for Ramondre and Judy and hope that gets it done. The more I think about it, the guy who I want to keep is ETN.
Yeah.
I wish I had more ETN shares. Redraft, Dynasty, Best Ball. I've got a few. I wish I had more. I love ETN. Despite being on the worst offense, which I actually think is helping him right now.
Yeah. I mean, his usage share is crazy.
His usage is through the roof.
And John Alvarez, 12-team PPR. Your starters: Burrow, Aaron Jones, Gibson, Hopkins, Chase, Palmer, Samuels, Kittle. Benches: Madison, James Robinson, Wan'Dale Robinson, Likely, and Mitchell. Trade would be Hopkins and Chase for Swift, Jamal Williams, I'm hoping, Juju and Mike Williams. What's your record?
Yeah, what's your record, John? That being said, I'm leaning no. I'm leaning no. Because you have Jones, who avoided serious injury this past week. Aaron Jones suffered an ankle injury against the Lions. I think it was like in the second quarter or so. I forget when specifically, but he went to the locker room, didn't return, didn't come back to the game. Avoided serious injury. Sounds like he's got a chance to play against the Cowboys. Even if he's ruled out, that's a best case scenario given the situation. Aaron Jones is not going to miss a ton of time.
No, I don't think you should do this trade, man.
5-4. I'm a hard no on this.
You want to keep the better starters because your team is finally coming together. You look at your squad. Yeah. Gibson's finally performing, even though last week, tough week. But Gibson's finally performing. Hopkins is finally starting for your squad after 6 weeks of not being able to start him. Chase, you really just have to wait. And you'd be waiting for Mike Williams, too. So what's the upgrade? You got Palmer for the next few weeks because we don't expect Keenan Allen to be back all the way. You have Samuels, so you can chill. Yeah. Samuels has been great.
Samuel's been fine.
Like I think you're chill. You'll be good. Chill. You're 5-4. You can probably start to put the gain on some of your league mates.
Yep. Don't trade for injured dudes.
Even if you have injured dudes, because you're downgrading.
And as Swift, I think saw
injured dude.
Injured guy who's not 100%. What do you see? Like 16 snaps.
Ugh.
And just because you're getting Jamal Williams doesn't make me feel any better about the move.
Yeah.
No, I'm a hard no on this. Hard no on this.
And Alex M, you are very welcome. Sad J, good to see you.
What's up, Sad J?
Standard, hey man, you need Dulcich, to Fryermuth, or Komet. What's up?
You need to change your team name to Happy Justin.
I like the Sad J. Keep the Sad J.
I like Sad J.
I think I go Fryermuth, Dulcich, Komet. Fryermuth with no Claypool. It's the first time we'll see him. Yeah. He'll get more targets, and he was already getting 8-9 targets a game. Yeah. Then Dulcich, who's given you 3 weeks.
And then Komet, let's see it for one more week.
Yeah. And then maybe I flip spots on Dulcich and Komet. And Komet's the guy that will have given me good three good weeks, whereas Dulcich falls off because this offense is bad. We'll see. But right now, Fryermuth, Dulcich, Komet for me.
I'm fine with putting Fryermuth ahead of the other two, but again, I just want to. I know this kind of doesn't have anything to do with the question, but it also sort of does. Last night, Isaiah Likely caught. Did he catch one ball?
On 5 targets for 1 touchdown, 24 yards. Yes.
He was the tight end 9 on the week.
You just need a touchdown.
What I'm getting at here is tight ends outside of Travis Kelce and a healthy Mark Andrews, and I'll throw George Kittle has kind of sprung back to life. Outside of those 3, tight end is impossible to predict. And I don't mean to give you kind of a cliffhanger of an answer. I do agree that I guess I would prefer Fryermuth among the 3 of these guys, but all you need to do is catch one ball. Like Isaiah, my point about Isaiah Likely is all you need to do is catch one ball for a 20-yard score, and you are a top. You're damn near a top 8 tight end.
Yeah, Komet could be what Robert Tonyan was a few seasons ago when he scored 11 touchdowns or whatever. Or Dawson Knox was the past 2 seasons, a touchdown-dependent tight end who caught at most three balls a game. Komet could be that.
Yeah.
But I'm chasing the guys who have shown more target potential.
Yeah. I'll say Freiermuth, but I just want to preface, like, if it's not Travis Kelce, if it's not Mark Andrews, if it's not George Kittle, I genuinely don't know.
Fair. And Wentworth Scribner was going on. Should I trade Pollard and Terry for Pierce? No. You have Barkley and Mixon.
Diggs might be taking a step back as far as expectation.
Yeah, I want to keep McLaurin even though he's coming off a bum week. I think I want to stay pat.
What's the rest of your team? I don't mind the idea of trying to get Pierce, but what's the rest of your squad?
Yeah, well, who do you got on your bench?
Yeah, give us the whole and your record. Like, what's the situation?
Jay Judah, pick a side in non-PPR. Lamar and Amari or Chase and Gabe Davis.
The Lamar side, and
yes.
It's not close.
Yep.
The Lamar side, and it's not close.
Even if you have Herbert, Lamar.
Like, Chase is the best player here, but Gabe is far and away the bottom.
And Amari's playing. Say what you will about Chase. Amari's playing. And he gets a quarterback upgrade in his own right soon.
And Amari's been a wide receiver 1. And Lamar is, the QB3 on the year?
Yeah.
Maybe Herbert's a low-end QB1. Lamar's a high-end.
And QB1. If you could trade Henry for Lamar and Chubb, I think I'd rather do that. And keep Chase.
Sure. Yeah.
And do the bottom trade, dude.
Yeah. Well, I would like to know your other running backs, I guess. But getting Chubb, pretty good. Getting
you
Lamar,
get the same caliber running back.
Herbert.
Yeah.
I would see if you can do a corresponding move, maybe to the person who has Eckler. Like, give them an incentive on like a stack and try to unload Herbert if you can get Lamar. Now, you'll need Herbert for one more week because the Ravens are on bye this week. But after this week,
no, honestly,
I would
dude,
try to flip Herbert.
If you can, but if you need to, Herbert enters drop territory.
If you have Lamar in a 1 quarterback, I would still try to trade Herbert because there is at least.
But if you can't unload him, you can drop him if there's somebody you need for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Once you have Lamar.
Yeah.
But Kyle Grove got offered Geno and Dallas Goedert for Josh Allen in my fantasy league. No. Wait on Josh Allen, man.
No, wait. Let's nah.
Wait on Josh Allen.
Nah. Unless you're like, I don't even want to say this. Even if you're like,
wait on the news.
Unless you're like 3-6, but you're only a game out of the playoff spot and you're desperate for wins now, and Allen's gonna miss 4 weeks. Fine, but to that point, wait on the news. And even then, I'm like, eh. But also, if you're like 3-6 in a game out of the playoffs, then for 4 weeks, if Allen misses 4 weeks, then you might as well trade him because he's not gonna. It doesn't help having Josh Allen in a season where you're gonna miss the playoffs. But we need to know the diagnosis first.
Yep. And Senor Rojo, gotta make room for buy. Is Van Jefferson droppable? Yeah. And hold the running backs over wide receivers.
Hold the backs. Van is a drop.
Yep. And Greg Z,
he's caught no passes in his return in 2 weeks, and that Rams offense sucks. Jalen Ramsey said as much in his post-game interview.
It's pretty terrible.
Jalen Ramsey threw the whole offense under the bus.
Yeah.
Whole offense under the bus is pretty funny.
But Greg Z, rest of season. Hardman or London? Sorry we missed this.
Hardman.
Yeah.
London's a play for next year.
And Jeff Wilson or Brian Robinson? Jeff Wilson. easy.
Jeff Wilson, then it's not close.
Better offense, better performing
better
running
player.
back. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And Wentworth, so you have Zeke, Pickens, Deontay, Rondale on the bench.
You have Zeke. Don't trade Pollard. You have the insurance policy. If something happens to one, you're set up.
Can you package Terry with the lesser guy? Can you can you get him to bite on Sutton and Rondale?
Sure. Or Sutton straight up on name recognition.
Yeah, float that out, but then see if you can do Sutton and Rondale, who's been performing well, but you're still not going to play him over Deontay or Pickens. I don't at this point. Yeah,
true.
Yeah. And Jay Judah, still do the bottom trade.
Yeah, sure. And then hold Herbert for this week. Shop Herbert. My first target would be in the event that the person who has Eckler is streaming quarterbacks. See if they want Herbert. Entice them with that stack. If that doesn't happen, or whoever's streaming quarterbacks in your league, see if they want Herbert for whatever you can get at. But yeah, I would move forward with that. I'd much rather have Lamar rest the season for Herbert.
Yeah.
No question. But hold on trying to do that until next week because the Ravens are on bye.
Yes. And Chris Genova, 5-4, looking to shake things up with some injury worries. Got Hurts, Waddle, DJ Moore, Eckler, Aaron Jones, Mark Andrews, Adam Thielen, Josh Palmer. Should you try trading Andrews or Jones? Any other ideas? No, I'm not trading Andrews. He just needs to get healthy, and he'll be healthy soon. The team needs him back, and once he's back, he steps right back into being the unquestioned number one target because no Rashad Bateman rest of season. So I don't want to trade Andrews.
No, and coming out of the bye week,
and I don't want to trade Jones either. I think you stay pat.
I'm pretty sure. I'm double checking.
Can you
this.
trade DJ Moore for something?
Sure.
Like if you're desperate for a trade.
Yeah.
Something there. See if you can do something there.
Yeah.
Travi J, would y'all trade Tua and Christian Kirk for Amon-Ra and Lawrence if you have Dak on your bench?
No.
Nope.
No. Nope. I don't want Trevor Lawrence. Not for if I have Tua.
Yeah, I'm trying to trade Dak.
Sure, I'm trying to trade Dak because I have Tua. Yeah, trade Dak.
Can you trade Dak for Amon-Ra straight up?
Sure.
That's
exactly I think no, you're good. I think you're good with that suggestion right there. Not to and you can use that exact argument that I was kind of saying at the top of the show. Amon-Ra has been very blah for the past month. So you can't be like, well, he's been a wide receiver one. That's cool. Not recently.
Yeah.
I would offer Dak for Amon-Ra straight up. That's what rock with Tua.
That's a win.
I would just rock with Tua. I don't want any parts of Lawrence.
Yeah.
In super flex leagues, fine. But even then, I don't feel great about him.
And Sad J, second place in the league, you drafted Jonathan Taylor, Javonte, Allen Robinson, Mooney, and Gabe Davison in the first 6 rounds. Damn. All right.
Jeez.
Respect. It's the way you win it sometimes.
I had a better draft than that, and I had a better draft than that, and I'm 2-7. So
I'm terrible at drafting, but I can build a team during the season.
Yeah.
So it's a skill. Second place in your league, can't hate that. Good job.
There you go.
And John, just rewind the tape.
Yeah.
Hits, y'all not worried Damian Harris comes back and steals some touches from Ramondre? Not really.
I mean,
even when they're playing together,
yeah. Will he take some touches? Sure. Is Ramondre still an RB1 for rest of season, or at least top 15 at worst? Yes.
Yes, agreed. And what do y'all think about Debo moving forward? He's a low-end wide receiver 1. Yeah.
He might be a little better than that. He's top 10. Yeah, he's a wide receiver 1.
Keenan Allen and Herbert for Cordarrelle. If you're hurting for at running back, dude, and you can survive not having Herbert, who's your quarterback? But yes, in a 1-quarterback league, if you're trading Keenan Allen and Herbert, and you're desperate at running back, but you have like a Tua, something like that, yeah. But if you have a Justin Fields, yeah. If not, no.
If I'm getting I want Patterson.
Yeah, but if
I can unload Keenan Allen.
Khalil Herbert. Oh, for some reason. Sorry, man. I was thinking Justin Herbert.
We've been talking about Justin Herbert a lot.
Yeah, do it. Do it. It's an upgrade.
Yeah, I would do it. If I can get rid of Keenan Allen.
Yeah, you don't know if he's going to be back.
Doing it.
Yeah, that's an upgrade. Herbert straight up for Cordarrelle, basically.
Yeah, there's a lot of like what ifs about the Chargers. Like, will Justin? This is as it pertains to Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Will Justin Herbert ever get back healthy? Or get back healthy at some point this season? Will Keenan Allen come back healthy at some point this season? Will they connect? Will they, do they have enough time to build some type of rapport that they've probably not had the opportunity to do this year? They've played several seasons together, so there's some built-in rapport, but Herbert's been hurt. Allen's played, 1 game, 2 games this year? Or a game and a half? 30 years old with a soft tissue injury. If I can unload Keenan Allen, and yes, I got to get rid of Herbert to upgrade at running back, yeah.
Yes.
Get that deal done today so that you can play Cordarrelle on Thursday. I assume there might be if there's a waiting period for trades, which, by the way, eliminate that.
Absolutely.
Eliminate that. Eliminate waiting periods in your everybody. Eliminate waiting periods in your league for trades. Now on Yahoo,
and vetoing trades and all that shit
and all that nonsense. Yes. Now I looked this up. On Yahoo, I don't know about ESPN, but also don't play on ESPN. It's by far the worst platform. But on Yahoo, you can't, I don't think, eliminate a complete wait. You can't completely eliminate the waiting period. But what you can do is commissioners can just push trades through. So just have your commiss just push trades through the second they are agreed upon. I feel strongly about this. But anyway, get that trade done tonight. Is it Estes? If I'm saying that correctly. Yeah. Thanks for subscribing, by the way.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Get that thing done tonight so that you can have Patterson for Thursday.
Craig Z, and tight end situation in your league is a mess. You have Pitts. The next best options are Cade Otton and Evan Ingram. Hey, to Nick's point last week, Cade Otton got 60 yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I suggested him to somebody.
Streaming option. Yeah.
Pretty sure I think he was a pick 1 out of 3. I think I did say Otton.
No, I think I'm still starting Pitts, man.
But I'm starting Pitts, but he's that type of guy where it's like, yeah, I might as well have a fallback option, despite spending high capital on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for Pitts to be a 5th round pick next year. He's going to be on every single one of my teams.
There you go.
But yeah, Otton. I'll take Otton.
He'll be less than that, dude.
Nah, he won't fall that far. Talent only falls so far. He's still talented.
We'll see.
He's not fallen to like the TJ Hawkinson territory. No disrespect to Hawk, but Pitts is going to get one more year out of respect of like and also if we don't know if Atlanta's going to get a quarterback or not. They need one. I don't know if they'll be in position to get one.
On the flip side, who's risen up really to take the spot, because Darren Waller's no competition.
Well, Pitts was drafted at the 2-3 turn this year. There are like ETN's going to leapfrog that.
Depending on what happens with Minnesota, Hawkinson could definitely vault into the TE3 territory.
I think I would give the top 3 Kelsey, Andrews.
I mean,
Kittle,
9 targets, 9 receptions, 70 yards last week.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's borderline more usage than he's seen all season.
Yep. Yep. It was a good trade for Hawkinson.
Yeah. But regardless, I would rock with Pitts, but not bad to have Otten.
Yeah, I would pick. Yeah, I wouldn't put a waiver claim in for him. Like, I wouldn't burn a waiver claim on him. But if you can get him tomorrow after waivers clear, then yeah.
Fields or Dak rest of season PPR. I don't think that matters. But Fields, for sure.
I think it's a force of habit to ask it, which is fine. We always ask for context.
Yeah, we like it if you can throw that in there. So respect the consistency.
I mean,
Fields.
I guess Fields. He's coming off an overall QB1 performance that he's probably not. Let's be real. And I'm really happy for Fields. He's probably not going to do that again. First player in NFL history to have 3 passing scores and 150 plus rushing yards in the same game.
But what were you saying early on before the season started? You liked Trey Lance as a top 8 quarterback rest of season, and Dak was more 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is performing like we thought Trey Lance might.
I was hoping Trey Lance would be, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's a top 8 guy rest of season.
So it's Fields.
And Dak is more of a top 10 option.
Right, Dak hasn't done anything wrong. It's just that Fields was the guy I had Trey Lance pegged to be.
Yeah. And honestly, this gives me a little bit of hope about Trey Lance next year.
Oh, the book is not written on Trey Lance. Far from it. He played a game and a quarter.
No, it just with the extreme reliance on his legs in Chicago, like when Trey Lance comes in and does a lot of the same things with better weapons. Yeah. It's on. So don't sleep on him either.
Oh no! Oh God, no! But yeah, for this season,
Fields over Dak.
Yeah, Fields and Dak doesn't really run that much anymore. He runs a little bit. Fields is going to run more. Yeah, Fields.
And Jay Judah, you are absolutely welcome.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
With Fields, I mean, he's got Detroit this week. Then he's got Atlanta. Two beautiful matchups. Then it gets tough. He's on the road against the Jets. Not a great matchup, but you probably, depending on how these next couple of weeks go, you might have to fire him up based on his performance. Then he's got the Packers. That's, by the numbers, not great, but that's not as scary as it used to look on paper. Rashawn Gary, unfortunately for the Packers, suffered a torn ACL. He's one of their big playmakers on defense. He's gone for the year. Still tough. It's tough defensive backs to deal with in Green Bay. But again, the strength of that Bears offense isn't them throwing the ball. It's designed runs by Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Then they got a late bye week, a week 14 bye.
Or just scrambles by Justin Fields because he's so good.
Now, here's where it gets a little dicey. Fields' fantasy playoff schedule is tough. He's got the Eagles and the Bills. Both games at home for Chicago. But those are two of the better defenses in the NFL.
But how good are they at stopping a rushing quarterback? And then a rushing quarterback, because that's different than just a team that has a good running back.
Like a straight drop, a team with just straight different drop back quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But still, Fields over Dak for me.
Yeah, I just wanted to call out. We got a couple beautiful matchups by the numbers coming up these next 2 weeks. Then it gets a little, the schedule gets a little daunting. Plus, there's that late week 14 bye in there. I agree with you that the answer is Fields. I just wanted we ask for context from you all with your questions. Therefore, I think it's only fair that we provide some context where appropriate with our answers.
True.
As like a bit of a caveat, just as an FYI, rock with Fields these next 2 weeks without question. Detroit and Atlanta, come on. But the schedule gets a little tougher these next couple of weeks.
But you're not, to the counterpoint, just counterpoint.
Yeah.
You were never sitting Hurts against a bad matchup. You're never sitting Lamar against a bad matchup. When you're talking about QBs with that amount of rushing upside, no matter how decimated their wide receiver core might be right now in Baltimore, you're not playing Lamar Jackson. And if Justin Fields continues to perform at that level, I think to me, it's, yes, that's a slight ding in his production column or projected production column at the end of the year when you might need the points the most, but you're still pretty much rocking him out there with confidence.
Yep.
And Gianni Video, what's happening? Rest of
Gianni?
Season, please rank TJ Hawkinson, Pat Fryermuth, Dalton Schultz, Tyler Higbee. In that order.
I think you have it in that order. I think you have the order correct.
Yeah.
I think you have the order correct.
The order right there.
I think the order you listed the names is the order that I would rank them.
Yep.
Hawk, I was tempering expectations for just for this past week because you never know with a team, with a guy in his first game with the team, right? You got to kind of give them some leeway. But Hawk delivered, put up a big time performance. What 9 for 70? Yeah. They play the Bills this week, so he's gonna be heavily needed once again. I don't know the rest of the Vikings schedule off the top of my head, but they didn't trade for him for nothing, right? They didn't trade for him not to use him. He's in the best situation, and he was the highest drafted player of these. Actually, I'm sorry. Dalton Schultz was drafted ahead of Hawkinson. I just got a knock on my door. I'm gonna have to put a pin in this for a second, but that order is how I would have it.
Yeah, just rock with that.
I'll be back as soon as I
can.
Go
address that, and I'll continue with the chat. Stack Attack, Jimmy G or Cousins streamer this week? I'm going Cousins, man. Jimmy G, Goff. I like those guys as streaming options most weeks, but Cousins is borderline starting territory. I think he should be a top 10-ish quarterback this week. Hits, I can rotate them according to matchups. Then perfect. Keep them both. Keep Fields for the next few weeks, and then you can reevaluate at least moving into the playoffs and look at Dak's schedule, see how it matches up, and play the matchups if you really want to. So you can absolutely go that direction. And Stack Attack is likely a drop or a hold. You have Fryermuth. You don't really have room to hold 2 tight ends, and you're 7-2. Yeah, I think likely is a drop. He's got a bye this week, so you can't play him, can't use him. And after the bye, who's to say Mark Andrews doesn't come back? And for what it's worth, they just activated Charlie Kolar off the wire, who was drafted in this year's draft before Isaiah Likely, even though it was in the same round. But you have Fryermuth. You don't need to hold on to Likely. And Likely showed some really bad efficiency numbers this week. 1 of 5 for, he got the touchdown, 24 yards. But, yeah. Honestly, it's a sell now window for Likely. And it's not because I don't like what he's been doing. He's been performing really well. Props to him. He does have a bright future in the league. He's shown me that. I can't dispute it, even though he has a terrible RAS. But he's not going to start over Muth, who just had his bye. So there you go. George Cook, do I hold on to the Vikings defense if Allen doesn't play for the Bills Sunday, or do I pick up Cardinals or Titans defense? Well, the game is in Buffalo. It's a game I'm trying to go to. Of course, going up to Buffalo to a Bills game, and Josh Allen might, for the first time, trying to go with my dad for the first time, see a Bills game together, and Josh Allen ain't gonna play. Yeah, don't love it. But Cardinals defense, Titans defense, Vikings defense. Titans defense. Great matchup against Denver. Should be a top 8 defense. Just rock with the Titans defense. Yep. D. Linney, the Terrace Marshall Mosh catch was beautiful last week. Yeah, man. He's been showing some things. 3 receptions, touchdown last week. Showing the promise that they got him drafted. Yeah. Very good catch. It's good to finally see it out of him. But yeah, at the end of the chat right here, who's got some more questions for us? Nick is, I think, dealing with a housing issue, so he'll be back. But throw some more questions in the chat. Got a spam message here. Kirk Cousins or Kyler Murray rest of season? Well, I mean, it's Kyler pretty firmly for the rest of the year. He's been great up to this point. Who's to say what his ceiling is once Hollywood Brown comes back? Like Kyler, yeah. George Cook, Cards play the Rams, though, which is also a great matchup. Yeah. But I just like that. What's good? All good?
Yeah. So I had a bit of a sink leak. As it turns out, there's something wrong with it's the garbage disposal. So they were like, we got to replace the whole thing. It's like, awesome. But they were like, we got to go put a work order. It's all right. It's a sink. If I have to deal with it without a night, it's fine. But sorry for the delay. Where are we at?
All the way at the bottom. George Cook's Cards play the Rams, though. Also a great matchup. Yeah, I'd still go Titans defense.
Over the Cardinals. Yeah, I mean against the Broncos. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an offense I'm targeting.
Yeah.
From this point forward. D. Linney, very good to know. Very good to know. Thank you for the heads up.
That's in Carolina. Yeah. You might have been fading all pass catchers in this game anyway. Right.
Cordell Patterson to the moon, yo.
Patterson, Algier is going to get is probably a deep league streamer in that scenario.
Yep.
Probably not still Caleb Huntley, but Mariota's probably a more intriguing deep situation stream at quarterback as a runner. All Panthers probably need to be just completely faded. I mean, I guess Foreman and Chuba. PJ Walker can run a little bit, but yeah, that's a situation I'm probably looking to avoid. Yeah. They're trying to get back to me again.
Stack Attack, I would drop Pacheco for White, but I'm trying to hold on to both. So who else can you drop? Durko, start Justin Herbert or Tua this week or for the rest of the season. Tua this week and for the rest of the season. Absolutely. Gianni Video this week, Justin Herbert or Kirk Cousins rest of season. I mean, very close.
Sorry for all the interruptions. This work order was put in yesterday. They were like, we can't get to it till today, and now they're saying we can't get to it till tomorrow. So it's all right. It's fine. I'll survive. All right, where are we at?
Justin Herbert or Kirk Cousins rest of season. Kirk Cousins has the weapons edge for sure for the rest of the season, and Justin Herbert ain't healthy. So I think, honestly, gotta go Kirk.
Might be Kirk. Wow. Yep. This is where we're at. Yeah.
And Stack Attack.
Probably Cousins.
Yeah, Cousins. Stack Attack, thoughts on holding Mitchell? He's expected to return off IR. He worth the roster spot. Yeah, he's worth the roster spot.
Yeah, for now.
Who would you be dropping? I mean, if you can pick up Jalen Morin or something, that's about the only person I'd be trying to upgrade. But, like,
sure.
I want Mitchell. If I was another team in your league and you drop Mitchell, I'd be picking him up.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Forrester, who should I start at the flex? Ayuk, DJ Moore, AJ Dillon, Tony Pollard, or Raheem Mostert?
Ayuk.
Yeah, Ayuk's great.
Been really good recently.
Great.
8 targets Pollard's enticing. Don't get it. Pollard's enticing, but Pollard is.
Zeke is gonna play.
Yeah, he's hard. Pollard's hard to trust week to week as long as Zeke is there.
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys insist on making Zeke the primary feature back because they're embarrassed by the contract that they gave him, as they should be.
And yeah, D. Lenny. Yeah, yep. Nick. To Nick's point, both defenses in play. Dirko 04.
Both defenses are in play. Sure.
Absolutely. Have PPR. Start one Algier, Hunt, or Foreman.
Hunt.
I would say Hunt.
There's a talent tier break despite his situation. Who's Cleveland playing coming out of the bye week? Who's Cleveland got this week? Gotta double check that.
Dolphins.
And it's in Miami. Yeah, I mean that has shootout potential. You want Kareem as a pass catcher?
Yeah.
Algier and Foreman might be playing. They might be playing in some sloppy conditions. Algier is the backup to, Algier is the backup just like Hunt is, but let's be real. Who's more talented?
And who's in the better offense?
Right. Who's in the better situation? And then as far as Foreman, Foreman could give you a 2-touchdown performance, or Foreman could give you a 40-yard no-score performance.
And we talked about earlier, he's in a 3-way committee now because Raheem Blackshear forced his way onto the field, as far as I'm concerned, after his performance last week.
4 passes, 40 yards.
Yeah.
Call four of his targets for 40 yards.
Yeah. So it's Hunt.
Hunt. Gotta play Kareem.
George Cook, how much faith do you have in Justin Fields to perform rest of season fantasy-wise? We talked about his next few weeks. Should be great and a very good floor.
It looks... I think it's a combination of a couple things. We have given this Bears coaching staff certainly a hard time with how we thought that they were approaching this offense. It appears they've figured some things out as far as utilizing and maximizing Justin Fields' strengths. And then from a player perspective, again, I said it a little earlier. I'll say it verbatim. It looks like Justin Fields is growing up a little bit. Looks like the game might be slowing down a little bit for him. He's figuring some things out on the field.
His athleticism is
right.
On site on every given play.
Yep. The weapons are still a little bit to be desired. No disrespect to Darnell Mooney, but even though Darnell Mooney had a nice game once again.
You've talked about it multiple times. Lamar Jackson is in his MVP season.
Yep.
His leading receiver was Willie Snead.
The ghost of Willie Snead, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, who's to say that Justin
wasn't Mark Andrews yet?
Who's to say that Justin Fields can't?
Was Mark Andrews on that team? He might have. Maybe he was.
Yes, but I think they were forcing the issue with the guy they drafted first.
Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
It was Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
They drafted Hayden Hurst in the first round and Mark Andrews in the third round. I don't even think. Yeah, Lamar's MVP season. I don't even think he had like half of what Mark Andrews currently is. I have to go back and double check that. I'm not remembering exactly, but yeah, the point is a young, athletic, mobile quarterback.
It was the same draft. They got Andrews, Hurst, and Lamar in the same draft.
They were all rookies. Yeah. So Lamar's MVP season, it was his second year or third full season. Second full season. Yeah. The point is, a young, athletic, second year or ascending to those third year player where the game now he's got some experience, right? He's played a season and a half. Things are maybe slowing down for him a little bit. This is when you want to start to see these quarterbacks start to grow up a little bit, start to develop. You start to see the development. The proof will be coming out of the bye week when he plays the Eagles and Bills at home. Where is he at then? That being said, I think he's got enough of a springboard potential for the next couple of weeks as far as continuing to have some good performances against some bad defenses or not great defenses in Detroit and Atlanta. Let's see how he does in a tough game against the Jets. Probably what's going to be a tough game in a division showdown against the Packers, even though the Packers are dead. I'm declaring it. Sorry, Packers fans, but their season is officially cooked. Let's see how he does. But we're seeing the maturation of Justin Fields before our eyes. And it's fun to see. It's fun to watch. I got plenty of faith.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to perform very well through the air to give you a big fantasy day. And those are cheat code guys. We talk about it all the time. So yes, fantasy rest of season fantasy-wise, he was what we wanted from Trey Lance. Top 8 quarterback with rushing upside, with top 3 upside. Basically what Jalen Hurts has been giving you.
Yeah.
Or gave you last year. And as far as Cooks, I think he suits up again, but he doesn't have much motivation to.
He's going to suit up.
He's going to suit up, but he doesn't have much motivation to perform.
He's a wide receiver 3.
Yeah, and he hasn't been great this year as is.
Yeah, that team has shifted to just let's hand the ball off to Dameon Pierce and run it up the middle as much as we can.
And George Cook is Dubs droppable given he's out for the last the last 2 weeks of the fantasy playoffs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, he's got a high ankle sprain. This could be a season ender for not a season ender.
Corresponding move, you should try to pick up another Green Bay wide receiver.
Which one? Christian Watson? Like, nah. Terrace Marshall's the guy you should be picking up.
Well, yeah, I assume he's drafted or picked up already.
He might not be.
Gianni, video thoughts on T. Higgins? He's a great player. When he's healthy,
he's fine.
You play him.
He's a wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do that much this past week. It was just the Joe Mixon show, and I think he still put up like 9 or 10 half PPR points, Higgins. Yeah, 7 catches, 60 yards.
Still a wide receiver 1. Chill.
7 catches, 60 yards in a blowout win where he wasn't needed. Like, he's a wide receiver 1. Yep. Wide receiver
Juke, 1. Good to have you in here. You have Eckler and Chubb, the owner of Dameon Pierce's wanting wide receivers, and you have a ton of depth to be able to get them. What are your thoughts on the rest of season?
I don't know what your depth is, but sure.
Yeah.
Kind of just mentioned it. That offense has completely shifted to we're going to hand the ball to Dameon Pierce 20 times.
You're going to have to give up one of your best starters or some of your very best depth to get Dameon Pierce, but it's worth it, I think.
Yeah.
What do you have, 129 yards against the Eagles?
39, 130,
139, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And yeah, D-Lenny, it is time to stash Christian Watson. It is. Now is the time.
I guess, but yes, the key word here is stash. Stash and hope, not stash and expect anything.
Right. Yeah.
He still needs to. There's a lot of development. I like, Christian Watson should be fine, like long term, but I mean, his high watermark as far as production was back in week 4 when he ran for a touchdown. Like that, even in that game, he caught 1 ball. I guess I mean, from an opportunity perspective, sure.
I'm not saying start him, dude. I'm just saying.
Oh God, no. I know. I understand. Yeah. I just don't even know if I want to stash him. If you're a playoff team, he's not.
It depends what your situation is. If you need a guy who has a shot to be a wide receiver by the end of the year, wide receiver 3, then go for it, because he does have a shot to do it.
Yeah,
he does have a shot to do what Alec Pierce was doing, a few weeks ago.
I agree about Wan'dale. I know this just not to skip a couple. I agree about Wan'dale. I agree about Wan'dale if he's still out there.
Yes.
Watson, I'm a little more leery on.
And we agree with Jalen Warren and Rachaad White, absolutely too.
Plus, just from a team perspective, the Giants are playing for something. The Packers are dead. Aaron Rodgers can give all of the
to that point
that he wants.
See, the GM might force the issue. The coach might force the issue.
See if you can get him involved.
See what happens. See what their upside is. Yeah, this is the time. George Cook, question for a friend. Full PPR trade. Chase and Pollard for Waddle and ETN.
Yeah.
If you can do it, do it.
Yeah, I would.
If you're getting Waddle and ETN, absolutely.
It's a huge running back upgrade.
And you're not really moving too much at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Kate Smith, Lazard or DJ Moore rest of season? I think
Lazard.
DJ Moore will be higher peaks, lower valleys, and Lazard will be more consistent.
Yeah. I think I prefer Lazard. For all of the poo-pooing on the Packers that I'm doing.
He's the one guy you want.
He's the only dude. Yeah, he's the one dude where it's like, all right, at least I'm pretty sure I can trust this guy. DJ Moore has a quarterback problem.
Lazard does too, but it's less pronounced. But Lazard, the answer to the question is Lazard. An interesting factoid is I would drop Dak and pick up Justin Fields. Swap. Unless there's a way you can hold on to all three and then trade Dak. But
I mean, you have Tua.
If you're trying to roster two quarterbacks, then I would rather have Tua and Justin Fields than Tua and Dak.
Sure, but you have Tua. So
yeah, you don't necessarily need another wide receiver.
You don't necessarily need.
If you're rostering two quarterbacks, then drop Dak and pick up Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Tua or Fields rest of season. Tua seems more sustainable. Tua has shown 50-point fantasy ceilings, higher than even what Fields showed us. I think the answer is Tua, but Fields is very close. I think I'd rather have Tua, but Fields might be 5 and 6. Might be 6 and 7, something like that. Very close. Edge Tua. Yeah, we both like Wan'dale. And we both like Daniel Jones this week as a QB streamer.
Yep.
Wan'dale or Peoples-Jones? Right now, Wan'dale. We'll see what Peoples-Jones' role is when Deshaun Watson comes into the fold.
DPJ's been sneaky consistent. I think I say Peoples-Jones. I do say Peoples-Jones over Wan'dale. The Browns were on bye this past week, but the past 4 weeks from week 8, I'm reading backwards from week 8 to week 5. 4 for 81, 6 for 71, 4 for 74, 4 for 50, 5 for 71, dating back to week 4. Since week 4, Peoples-Jones has cleared 50 yards in every game, and in 4 of those 5 games, he's cleared 70 yards.
You know what I see in every consecutive game since week 4, with the exception of 1, his targets have declined.
That's okay. He's making the most of them.
Now, his snaps have gone up.
And he's getting a quarterback upgrade in a couple of weeks. Peoples-Jones for me.
Yeah, Peoples-Jones will have the better quarterback when all's said and done by week 13. So yeah, I guess the answer is Peoples-Jones, even though for right now I stand by Wan'dale.
Okay.
Because I said, when I was answering the question before you started answering the question, I said right now Wan'dale, and I stand by that. But come week 13, you would rather have Peoples-Jones. Yeah.
I'd rather have Peoples-Jones now, personally.
So,
there you go. The proof's in the pudding, dating back to week 4. Yeah. He doesn't have a ton of targets, but he's catching them all. He's got them, he's catching them all.
Guys, catch him. Keg Carr, which team would you rather have? Team 1, Herbert, Saquon, CMC, Justin Jefferson, Waddle, Pittman, or Team 2, Mahomes, Saquon, ETN, Justin Jefferson, Pittman, and Kenneth Walker? Team 1. I don't want Herbert and Pittman.
Well, Team 1 has Herbert and Pittman.
Or yeah, then I'm sorry, Team 2.
I think I'm Team 2 as well.
I mean, you got Pittman, but Pittman's the only guy on Team 2 that I don't want. On Team 1 has 2 people that I don't want. So
yeah, like McCaffrey's great. I guess I'd rather have Waddle than Kenneth Walker. I don't want Pittman, so that's a wash everywhere. And I'd rather have Mahomes than Herbert. I'd rather have McCaffrey than ETN. I'd rather have Waddle than Walker.
Edge Team 1.
Slight edge to Team 1. It's 2 close situations.
D. Lenny, Watson and Wan'dale could be this year's Sun God who broke out in Week 11 last season. Could be. But maybe. What's the correlation between Deshaun Watson and Wan'dale Robinson?
Christian Watson.
Got you. Thanks. George Cook, AJ Brown, and Jamal Williams for Cup.
No. Well, if I'm getting A.J. Brown and Jamal Williams, then yes.
Yeah, I'd rather be on the A.J. Brown, Jamal
I know
Williams
Kupp is amazing, right? He's unbelievable.
So is A.J. Brown.
But A.J. Brown is too, plus a running back who is maybe the guy in the Lions backfield who you can count on rest of season more than Swift.
Yeah.
I'd rather have A.J. and Jamal.
And Cade Smith, I'd rather have Lazard rest of season than Judy.
I'd rather have Judy.
Yeah, but you're a Judy fan.
And he's coming on strong the past couple of weeks. He's shaking he got hurt week 2. Injuries have admittedly been a bit of an issue for Judy the past couple of seasons, but he bounced back after a couple of weeks of, not being 100%. And he's been the Broncos wide receiver 1 two weeks in a row prior to the bye week.
He was the wide receiver 22 and the wide receiver 14, I believe. But in the last 3 weeks, we have 2 weeks with Allen Lazard inside the top 10. Wide receiver 9 in week 6 and wide receiver 5 in week 9. I just think the ceiling is higher with Lazard. Even though I do like Judy. He has shown some things.
He's flashed. Yeah. Lazard had a great week.
Lazard has flashed more in the past 3 weeks than Judy has in his. Wide receiver 22 and wide receiver 15. So better than I gave it credit for, but still, I'd rather have the wide receiver, the guy who was the wide receiver 9 and the wide receiver 5.
Also, keep in mind, just as a tidbit, Judy is now officially past his bye week. Lazard has a late week 14 bye.
But also, Lazard has to fill the void left behind by Romeo Doubs, who was a target having wide receiver in that rotation. So we're split. I say Lazard. Yeah. Nick says Judy.
We're not on. Yeah.
An interesting factoids. We think you are too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Stack attack. 10-man wide receiver pickup. Pickens, Garrett Wilson, Terrace Marshall. You'd be dropping DJ Moore or Tony standard league. Drop Tony
for Pickens.
Or Garrett Wilson, honestly, dude.
Yeah, you could do Garrett Wilson. I think I do prefer Pickens, just because Pickett seems to. Pickens has a little bit more consistency this year. I can't say track record because they're both rookies, but either one is fine. I like Terrace Marshall. He's really come on strong.
Pickens than Garrett
I think
Wilson.
I'd slightly rather have Pickens. Wilson's not too far behind.
But we've seen these past 2 games be good for Wilson when Corey Davis isn't available. So, but whereas Pickens, we've seen him be good up to this point in the last few weeks, and now Claypool's gone. So you're looking at 2 guys in kind of the opposite situation. Because of that, I'm willing to go Pickens over Garrett Wilson.
How close is Davis to returning?
I don't know.
MCL sprain? Ugh. Yeah.
Yo, D-Lenny, I like that hot take.
We're expecting to we're expecting I think we're expecting Davis at some point this season, whereas Chase Claypool is gone from Pittsburgh's offense. So that gives me this. Garrett Wilson might be a little bit better like right now, but rest of season I think I'd rather have Pickens.
Yeah. But yeah, D-Lenny, I like that hot take. And yes, George Cook, Jamal will out-touch Swift rest of season. I'd put money on it. I put money on it.
Probably. I mean, Swift isn't right. And what I mean by that is he's not healthy. He would have gotten more snaps if he was.
16 snaps, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's not healthy. So yeah, he will. I like the DPJ take as well. I think he's going to have, DPJ, man, he's a strong wide receiver 3 rest of the season, as far as I'm concerned.
He's a wide receiver 3 for me. Stronger once Watson comes into play. I don't know if he's a strong wide receiver 3 out the gate, but time will tell. Time will tell. Wan'dale does not have a higher ceiling than Peoples-Jones. He just does over the next 3 weeks.
Nah, ceiling. I mean, when you're talking about ceiling, I mean, DPJ I think has a greater chance of a 40-yard bomb, like making big catches. Average, Yeah,
but Wan'dale Robinson has a better chance of being hyper targeted.
High floor.
Right.
Wan'dale's got the high floor. Wan'dale's got the higher floor, which maybe makes him a little safer. Peoples-Jones has the higher ceiling, makes him a little bit more volatile, but can give you that, 12, 13 point week on 3 or 4 catches.
Yeah. I don't know if we see too much Kylan Hill, to be honest with you. I think we see Patrick Taylor if there's going to be a running back that takes any other snaps.
I mean,
other than
hell, Dylan might not. I don't, let's say Aaron Jones misses. What has Dylan done this year to earn like a bell cow role? You know what I mean? I feel like we could see a gross 3-headed monster.
I think they go back to him, but yeah, we could see.
He got stuffed like on the 1 yard line against the Detroit Lions twice. Twice. Like, come on, AJ.
Rodrigo, yo.
What in the hell is going on with AJ Dillon?
Carter DeGraff, good to see you. McLaurin and Palmer for Stevenson need an RB2.
Who are your other who are the other wide receivers?
Can you get anything else thrown in? That's all.
Yeah.
All I want to know. Can you get
or just
the last person on his bench thrown in? See if you could do something like that.
I want to know your other wide receivers.
I just want the last wide receiver on his bench.
Sure, fine.
George Cook, would you rather have Waddle or Mike Evans?
Waddle. I love Mike Evans, but Waddle's, I mean, you got to give Waddle his flowers for this season. He's awesome. He's that dude. Evans is that dude as well, but Evans is in a worse situation, and Waddle's putting up. It's not like their numbers are close. I think Waddle is putting up more.
Away. No, he is
putting up more numbers than Mike Evans.
No, he's been incredible.
Yeah, Waddle.
Yep.
And so is Tua. Brady, I mean, again, look at the quarterbacks. You can trickle this conversation down to, for fantasy purposes, which quarterback would you rather have? Tua. It's not Brady.
And Keenan, how good do we think Watson is going to be when he comes back? Look, when we saw him in his first little bits of action in the preseason, it is the preseason, he looked pretty bad. He looked pretty shaky. But there were a lot of factors to factor in there. And honestly, his first game back, yes, the revenge game narrative, because it is against the Texans. I don't know if we should expect him in his first game back to be great, but I know that he has top 6 touchdown or QB upside weekly when he gets on page with his wide receivers and his offense. So once that happens, top 6 upside. But I do think it'll take a while for him to work into that. Whether that's a week, 3 weeks, I can't say. But I don't think he's going to come out the gate and be the Deshaun Watson of old quite yet.
I mean, yeah, look, he hasn't played football in 2 years, right? So
longer, 2.5.
Okay. Has it been 2.5? No,
yeah.
It's been one and oh yeah, he sat out. No, he sat out last year. He played the year before. It's been a year and a half. Do I know how to do math? Am I right on that? It's been a year and a half. He played in 2020. He
Right,
didn't play in 2020.
We're already at week 10, bro.
So yeah, year and a half. Not 2 years. Year and a half.
Okay, I'm doing the math wrong. My bad.
Yeah. Regardless, the point stands. It's been a long time since he's played football. There's probably going to be a good amount of rust that he needs to shake off. And it's a new team. So is he going to be a guy that you can fire up in one quarterback leagues in his first game back? Probably not. Although it is against Houston. His former team. They're not good on defense. Hell, if you're, depends on if you're desperate at the quarterback spot, but then maybe. But yeah, I mean, top 15, hopefully his first game back. It could be closer to QB 16, 17, 18 in his first game back, and then you're hoping he progresses from there. But we gotta keep expectations low for a guy who hasn't played football in let's just say 18 months.
And yeah, Deion Jackson is out for week 10.
He is?
Yeah, it's projected that Jordan Wilkins will be the back in week 10.
Where's that being said?
I just saw it on CBS Fantasy.
He's not even on Deion Jackson doesn't even have an injury designation.
I'm looking it up at another source now. Knee issue. He returned to the game, but he could be hurt. In which case, Zach Moss and Jordan Wilkins would factor in. So we need to wait and see on that.
I gotta wait. I don't even see
wait and
that.
See.
I'm like,
wait and see.
Yeah.
I had to search for it. Wait and see.
Yeah, I don't even see an injury designation for him.
Hold him.
We'll
don't even really be precautionary yet. Just like wait and see. Don't rush to pick up
don't,
Moss.
Don't drop him. Don't drop him.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Hold
Not
Jackson.
Yet.
Wait and see.
Right, because the guy, especially even if he is banged up, we got to see what the status is on Taylor. Because if both Taylor and Jackson are both banged up still, if Taylor's not practicing tomorrow, even if Jackson is also out, I'm holding Jackson.
And Chris Kreider, do you have to drop one?
Yeah, like who?
Who are your wide receivers? Like, who are you? Do you have two quarterbacks in the one QB league? Like,
is it because you have to pick up a quarterback because you have Allen?
Wait and see on Allen.
Yeah, who's like? Yeah,
I'm not dropping any of those guys until I have to.
Yeah, the guy I'm definitely not dropping Herbert, and I really, despite the lackluster performance, I'm not dropping Dylan until I know more about Aaron Jones.
And I'm not dropping Harris because he is one
and
injury away and has standalone
Yeah.
value in his own right. Wait and see. Wait and see.
Yeah, I just don't want to
wait in this. You don't need to make the decision right now.
Right.
And George Cook, as a Packers fan, you can say that you don't have enough cap to retain Aaron Jones next year, so whatever team signs him once he's cut is lucky.
What is his contract situation? He got a 4-year deal not too long ago.
The cap is fake.
The cap is fake.
So they can find a way to keep him.
So he would have a dead cap hit if they have an out after this year where if they cut him, it would be a 9.5 dead cap hit. Do you really want to do that?
I think they would cut Randall Cobb before they cut him, and because Randall Cobb is due a fair amount of money. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I think they retain him.
I think he's there for one more year.
You can't go because I don't know if Aaron Rodgers re-ups, but in that point you save some money. And you're not going to cut him and Aaron Jones. Then really, who else do you have? So yeah, too early to say on that one, but I don't think it happens.
Yeah,
it is too early, Chris. Too early to panic on that. Wait and see.
Dropping Dubs for a kicker. Who's your kicker?
Wait and see.
Who's on bye this week? Because if you have McPherson, he's a drop. I hate to say it, but he is.
Ooh.
He is. I mean, if you have Tucker, then okay, fine, keep Tucker. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, if you got to win, drop Dubs, that's fine. Carter DeGraff, your wide receivers are CD, McLaurin, Palmer, Davis, Ayuk, and Deontay.
Can you offer? Okay.
I mean, can you do Davis and Palmer? Can you kind of with Davis and Palmer, and then you have CD, McLaurin, Ayuk, and Deontay, which is still a good wide receiver core, but you're trading your two weakest links who do have value in their own right, might be a little bit overrated by what they've done in recent memory. Try Palmer and Davis.
Mm-hmm.
See if that gets it done. Mike, you blew it. You should have picked up Fields. Now you're stuck with Herbert with no wide receiver, and Prescott is up and down. Hey, at least you still got Prescott. He's not a bad quarterback.
Nah, you could pivot to Dak.
He doesn't have the ceiling of a Fields.
You could pivot to Dak, though. That's fine.
Gianni Video, trade away Leonard Fournette and Swift PPR. I mean, I want either of these guys right now.
No.
I'd rather I'd rather have the guy that's not injured or hasn't been injured recently.
Yeah, so, Fournette hasn't been
Fournette,
good, Fournette hasn't been good, but at least he's healthy.
DeAndre Swift is not. So yeah, Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
And yeah, he has Tucker. So good guess there. I'm dropping Dubs.
Yeah, drop Dubs, hold Tucker, and then let's wait and see on Allen.
Yo, George, see, that's what they... Honestly, that's what they should have done as soon as they couldn't re-up with Devontae. They should have just been like, yo.
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, look, when you have Aaron Rodgers...
What reason is there to have Cobb? Like, what reason?
Well, that was just to appease Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but still, stop trying to appease the dude. He's bad. If he doesn't want to play, he doesn't want to play. Peace.
I think that was the first time the Packers have tried to appease Aaron Rodgers. That was the problem.
Yeah, well, true. But yeah, just get rid of these guys. See what you have. Anything in love.
I mean, Rodgers is coming off his fourth MVP award this past year. So
you should just give them all to Davante Adams.
It was impossible for the Packers not to bring Aaron Rodgers back because they don't have Jordan Love is not the future. It's just they botched the Davante Adams situation. And I get if you didn't want to pay him.
Well, no, they didn't just botch that situation. They botched the wide receivers that they decided to bring in the draft. They weren't ready at all week one. They
never should have drafted Jordan Love.
They didn't try to replace Davante Adams in free agency at all with anybody who was out there. Like they didn't make one mistake there.
Yeah,
every move was, hey, we want to surround Aaron with as little as possible.
Yeah, go do because it with this ragtag crew.
Right. You think it was out of spite?
But no way. We're gonna screw we're gonna screw our franchise just to screw our Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
They were in a weird they were in a weird situation that they sort of put themselves in.
But regardless, we should be seeing the Packers rebuild very soon.
It's not far away.
Carter, should I aim for Stevenson or go for a different RB2? It depends what RB2s are available, but he's not a bad RB2 to go and get because he has RB1
fine.
Upside.
I mean, the thing is, you have CD, that's good, but and I like Ayuk, but it's kind of McLaurin has been solid, not great. Davis is officially like a volatile option. Palmer's going to go back to being a wide receiver 4 when, at least Mike Williams is back. And Deontay's hard to trust. Like, your wide receivers are fine. They're not great top to bottom. So you're not exactly, that's the thing. You're not exactly trading from a position of strength to get a running back upgrade. If you can, I would offer, I would offer Davis and Palmer to get and if that doesn't get it done, I don't know. See, here's the Carter, the problem, Carter, and I don't mean to poo-poo the situation. I'm not dying to give up 2 of these guys because this, you don't have you have one rock solid option in CD.
Now,
you have one pretty good option.
Deontay gets a boost just like Pickens does with no Claypool.
Yeah.
And
Deontay.
Davis has been super volatile, and you can't trust him. Palmer is volume based, and as soon as one of the veterans comes back into the fold, his value drops. So I'm fine trading them away because I feel like with Palmer, only if you need wins right now does he have value.
Palmer you can trade. I just don't know if it gets it done. I don't know if he is the ancillary piece that gets it done to get Ramondre. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, just try it. Palmer and Davis, just try it. No harm in trying.
Yeah.
D-Lenny, I'm not seeing that yet, so I can't say. We don't have that information yet. I just looked again on Twitter and can't say anything. Yeah or nay there. Carter, your running backs are Eckler, Patterson, and Foreman and Singletary. So yeah, you could use an upgrade there at RB2, RB3.
Ask or offer. You can't do like Palmer and Foreman. That's insult. That would be insulting. But like Davis and Foreman, I guess I'd rather
just try it with the wide receivers and see what happens.
Yeah,
and then come
offer
back to us in the Discord or in another one of our live streams.
Yeah.
And my 12-man PPR team is Geno, Swift, Chubb, Godwin, Mario, Venture Sutton, Boyd. 5-4. Hey man, just you got some bad luck there with Dobbins, but you've lucked into having Tyler Boyd on your squad. Bad luck with not having Andrews last week, and this week you have to deal with him on a bye. You got through not having Godwin for a few weeks, but now Swift is hurt.
Chubb's passed his bye.
Honestly, with Geno v. Watson, the upside that you hope to get from Watson is what Geno's been giving you. Who's on your wire? If it's a 12-man league, 1 QB, can you sell off Geno and package him with Swift to get an upgrade at running back? Stream at QB for the next few weeks until Watson comes back.
I wouldn't do that because you're 5-4. I would sell Watson and Swift. I would try to package Watson and Swift.
There you go. That works too.
If you were 7-2, then sure, trade Geno, but you're not. I would keep Watson and Swift and see what that can get you.
Fair.
But I would try to unload
Swift. I like
Swift.
that better. Watson and Swift.
I would try to unload Swift for a run. See if Watson and Swift can get you something like Ramondre or something like that.
Or Watson and Dobbins, because at least Swift is playing. Might be hurt, but at least he's playing. See if you can do Watson Dobbins first, then Watson Swift.
Sure. But that's not going to get you. Watson Dobbins ain't getting you somebody like Ramondre.
No, but that's something that I would do outside of. Well, this guy's not trying to get Ramondre.
I'm just throwing it out. I'm just he was a default name that I threw out there as like, let's see.
But no, Watson, J.K. Dobbins, see if you can upgrade. Carter lost Brees to the ACL. Hey, bad luck.
That's why. Okay, that's why the RBs are hurting a little bit. Gotcha.
Hunter, that's a win because he's playing.
That's a big win, Hunter.
Because he's playing right now. What's going on, man? Hey, we were right about Aaron Rodgers. You were wrong. I'm sorry, Hunter. You were wrong about Aaron Rodgers. We were right.
Don't do that.
Victory lap.
Don't do that.
I'm playing. Only halfway though. Chris Kreider, if I do have to grab someone for Allen, who should I drop? Garrett Wilson, Cooks, Herbert, Damian Harris, Dylan, Foreman, or Pollard?
Nope, not.
Foreman out of any of those guys, but I don't want to drop. I don't want to drop him either.
Foreman.
So I'm waiting on Allen because. Do you have an IR spot?
Offer Cooks and one of those wide receivers like in a 2-for-1 in a trade. Try to free up a roster spot with a trade.
Cooks and Foreman.
Yeah, for you're not going to get anything good, but like see if you can turn that into something that can help you for these next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then you free up a roster spot.
Yep.
That's what I would try to do.
Yeah.
That's what I would try to do.
But we are at the end of the chat here. Does anybody... No IR spot. That sucks. Does anybody have any more questions?
Yeah, try to do a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah, try to do that.
Try to do a 2-for-1 trade. You're not... the guys that I mentioned, you're not going to get anybody good, but see if you can get somebody like a Josh Palmer. Like, see if you can get somebody usable for the next couple of weeks. In a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hunter, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, they lost to the Lions.
Not looking too good.
I think they're five losses in a row. Yeah, man, this is tough. It's tough. It's tough if you're to watch Aaron Rodgers go out like this. But I mean, sometimes sports is cruel, man.
And Cesar, I would not do that. Keep Pierce. You need him if you want to get out of a 4-5 deficit. What you can try to do is see if you can package Brandon Cooks and Gabe Davis for an upgrade and then get somebody else off the wire who honestly should be giving you. You can probably find somebody on the wire right now in a 12-man league who can give you what Cooks or Gabe Davis has been giving you as a floor. So if you can trade one of Cooks, or both Cooks and Gabe Davis for an upgrade, go after a Terrace Marshall. Go after a Rondale Moore if he's still there. Go after an Algiers. Go after a Rashad White. Go after, he's a priority if Rashad White is on your wire. And then try to, but I want Pierce. And I don't want Burrow or Keenan Allen for Pierce. Mariota's been fine.
Yeah, and I just don't want Keenan Allen.
Yeah, and Mariota is not your issue here.
I'm not taking on when you're in the fight for your life, or you're in a fight for your playoff life. You don't want to pick up a 30-year-old wide receiver with soft tissue injuries who hasn't done anything all year.
And look at your squad here. Kamara had a rough start to the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
Walker didn't come on until halfway through the season. Godwin was out for, as we know, a little bit of time.
Start the year. Yeah.
Terry, it took a few weeks. Now he's been a lot better. Connor was hurt for a few weeks.
Now he's back.
You've been through a rough patch here, but
healthy.
You can come out of this with the squad that you already have in front of you.
Yeah, you weathered the storm and got healthy. Oh, yeah. God damn it, here come the bots. Got him. Yeah, you weathered the storm and got healthy. I would stay pat.
Yep. Now look, you got Kamara, Walker, and Pierce, and Godwin, and Terry.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're good, bro. You're good.
I mean, maybe try to trade Hunt and Gabe for a wide receiver upgrade. Maybe try to do that.
There you go.
Hunt and get, or Cooks probably doesn't get
Cooks
you anything.
And Hunt, something like that.
You could try. I don't know if Cooks gets you anything.
Combination of one of those guys.
Yeah.
And D. Lenny, there you go. All right, hope that's a little bit more hopeful. We'll see.
Hunter,
again, I'm not going to say anything definitively until I see it.
Yeah, we'll probably get something a little bit more concrete tomorrow. Hunter, the problem is you're paying Aaron Rodgers lots and lots of money, and he's Aaron freaking Rodgers. He's not
performing like poop.
Well, he's performing like poop, but it's still Aaron Rodgers. I don't know that you can, in any scenario, and I don't think the Packers are the type of franchise to do this. I don't think they're going to bench Aaron Rodgers unless he gets hurt. As long as they are technically, because they are technically not mathematically eliminated, they're going to keep rocking with Aaron Rodgers, for better or worse. Next year is when we can have this conversation. The problem is Aaron Rodgers is submarining his. I mean, some team might take a chance on it, like probably the Colts. The Colts will take a chance. The Colts love old quarterbacks. The Colts will trade a third-round pick for Aaron Rodgers. There you go. And then the year after that, they'll trade for Tom Brady. And then the year after that, they'll trade for Ryan Tannehill. And then Jared Goff. I'm naming all Colts quarterbacks for the next 10 years.
And then Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. It's kind of like you know how Leonardo DiCaprio, all of his girlfriends are 25 years or younger. Colts quarterbacks have to be at least 35 years old. It's like they go in the opposite.
Jim Irsay is just going to
Jim's going to step out there. He's going to saddle up himself. He's like, I'm going in. Jim's going to suit up himself.
Jeff Saturday is going to block for him. It's just
Jeff Saturday.
Look what he's setting up for himself.
Yeah, player coach Jeff Saturday.
I could see it.
You love to see it.
But we are at the end of the chat here. If you have any more questions, throw them in the chat. If you have any more questions moving forward, during the day, whatever, if one's keeping you up in the middle of the night, go into our Discord. It's the second link in the description, I believe. Or is it third? Third link in our description.
I don't even
absolutely
know what the
free.
Link is anymore.
Yeah, I think it's the draft kit. Which
we
can probably take out.
Yeah, we gotta get that out of there.
But okay, well, soon to be second link in our description, but right now it's the third. The first link is there's the members link. So if you want to join as a member, we have a 99-cent option where you get 2 extra streams a week with us, 4 extra streams a month for 99 cents a month. We think it's worth it. A couple others do too. Just gives you extra access to us to help answer your questions with a little bit more thoroughness and a little bit more attention. And you also just, you can chill with us for an extra, 4 hours a week.
For the duration of the season.
Yes. But, Jeff Saturday, former teammate of Aaron Rodgers. Huh.
Was that in college?
I guess.
Or no. No.
He didn't play for the Packers.
Saturday did have one. I think he had 1 year in Green Bay as a free agent.
What? Okay.
Yeah. After Peyton Manning left and went to Denver, Saturday went to the Packers for maybe a year or two. Yep. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers will be the Colts quarterback next year.
And Chris, your lineup looks good. You just might want to look into upgrading for an RB2.
Yeah, try to do that try a 2-for-1 trade. You don't have to break the bank for anything. But yeah, just try to free up that roster spot to give yourself a quarterback insurance policy for Allen without having to just drop somebody who would, just outright.
And Chris, thank you very much
thanks,
for the Superman. It's very much appreciated.
Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
99-cent option, practice squad, members only below. There are other tiers, so you can look into that. We do one-on-one team evals for in redraft and the offseason in Dynasty for another tier if you want to jump a tier. And I think that's $2.99 a month. So we think it's worth it. But this week, just a PSA, I will not be here for the Thursday stream and the Saturday stream, or the Sunday stream, because I'm gonna be up in Buffalo, watching Case Keenum play.
Watching Case Keenum, let's go.
Of course, that's the Bills game I end up going to. The first Bills game in Buffalo I end up going to. All the Bills are good. Is a Case Keenum start, of course, but So Nick is holding it down from on Saturday and Sunday, but Saturday 6 p.m. EST, Sunday 10 a.m. EST, and then we'll be back next week in full force. And what should you do with Amon-Ra and Swift? PPR, trade or hold?
Trade Swift, hold Amon-Ra.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yep, trade Swift. He's not healthy. Try to get rid of him before it's too late. I don't know what you can get for him at this point, but if somebody is not following along as far as his health and wants him off name recognition, I would do it.
Or me too.
I would do it. Amon-Ra, I mean,
he's still a wait and see.
Yeah,
Jameson Williams isn't coming back for maybe the entire season, and he is going to be a target hog with no Hawk and with no Swift, honestly. So yeah,
it's just that Amon-Ra himself has not been very good for the past 4 or 5 weeks.
He should still get 8 to 10 targets a week.
Yeah, he should get the volume. He's been a wide receiver 3, not a wide receiver 1.
So that being said, he can at least be a wide receiver 2.
Definitely trading Swift if I can.
Yep.
Not for peanuts, but also maybe at this point for whatever I can get.
And Alex is glad he traded Swift at the beginning of the season. Yeah, I'm bet if anybody else out there did the same thing, you feel pretty good too. Let's hope he can come back strong in 2023. But yo, thanks for chilling tonight. We will Nick will see you tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And I'll see you next week.
Have a good night, everybody.
Peace, y'all.